to make this project work, because it's very expensive, the developer is buying the property, including the Kmart building. But the Kmart building is going to be teared down. So just imagine you buy $3 to $5 million of property, but you have to tear it down and start building over. Well, having those restaurants is going to help with the project financially. The build, we know how expensive construction is. So instead of building here on site, they're going to be fully assembled at a factory, brought over here, and put here together like pieces of Lego. Yes, there will be local people doing that, helping with that. But these units will come 99.9% finished. And when they get here, they will have drywall, they will have everything. They will be finished on the inside. When they put them together, they'll just finish the outside to make it look pretty.
And then run the plumbing and the electricity.
All of that is going to be done when they get here.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yes, that's amazing. That's technology. And that is going to help with having this project completed much faster than the typical construction. And of course, less expensive.
And you said there's actually it's not going to be your typical cracker box. There's going to be a green space in the middle.
Yes, the idea is to have two buildings, one in front of the other, one in the back, or actually it's going to look like one, but it'll be two buildings put together. So it'll be a total of 4 buildings. It's going to look like 3, but it'll be 4. Yep. And there'll be space in the middle, like green space, where people are going to be able to, like a small park in the middle, where people are going to be able to recreate outdoor, because they will be having this 500 square feet apartment, very small, but they can go downstairs and still right outside their apartment and enjoy the outdoor. Yeah.
This is great.
It is awesome. The concept, the floor plans, it's a good idea.
And the appliances are new. I mean, it comes, like you said, finished on the inside.
Yes.
Ready to rock.
Ready, yes.
And you had some other news about children and other active people.
Yes. Well, we know at the City of Bishop, we know how important it is to have facilities for recreation. I mean, we live here because we can go hiking, biking, fishing, do all of those beautiful things on the outdoor. But we also need facilities at the park for our children to play sports, and adults as well. So we have a total of 6 fields at the city park, and what we call Field 6, which is the one on Hanby Street, the latest, it's one soccer field, but it needs some attention. So we're going to take advantage that we need to do some work on it to make 2 full-size soccer fields. So not just 1, but 2. We're going to keep the existing dirt bike area. We're just going to move it a little bit to the side. But we're going to have 2 brand new fields. And most likely it's going to be artificial grass, which is going to help us saving water, saving in maintenance. Yes, it's going to have to be replaced, and of course it's expensive, but it'll be less expensive than what natural grass will cost over the same amount of time. So, and not having to worry about green grass or grass drying during the winter, we can have sports activities all year long. So that's something to be excited about as well.
It's great because it's not how fast you mow, it's how fast you mow well. And it takes a lot of maintenance to do a turf, a natural grass turf. It
does. No. It takes several weeks, a few months to let the grass grow before you can set foot on it.
Yep.
So, yeah. Then again, the construction should be relatively fast. It will be expensive, but we are hopeful we're going to be able to complete it in a short period of time this year.
Artificial turf does require maintenance, but it's a vacuum. You run a vacuum over it's not a storm.
Yes.
Just
no.
Almost zero maintenance.
Almost.
Very close.
Yeah, yes. And of course, no water, no irrigation.
Yes.
So.
Hello, I'm Jeff Gabriel with Sierra Forever. We have some exciting events planned for the month of April, all to celebrate Earth Day. The first one is going to be Saturday, April 12th, and that's going to be in the city park, and it is the community art fair along with Sierra Earth Day. Both events are sponsored by the Inyo Council for the Arts, as well as the Rotary Club of Bishop Sunrise. And they will be from 10 a.m. until 3 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, April 12th in the city park. The next day, Sunday, April 13th, will be the Bishop Paiute Tribe's Earth Day celebration, and it will be at the Owens Valley Paiute Shoshone Cultural Center on Line Street, and it will be beginning at 8 a.m. and ending at 3 o'clock p.m. Again, that will be Sunday, April 13th at the Owens Valley Paiute Shoshone Cultural Center. And then on Tuesday, April 22nd, the Mammoth Lakes Foundation will be having an Earth Day celebration at Saracosa Community College at the Mammoth campus. And that will be from 2 o'clock to 5:30 on Tuesday, April 22nd. Again, I'm Jeff Gabriel with Sierra Forever. Educate, inspire, explore.
This is Jimmy T with Ion Inyo. Vegetables, fruits, trees, lawns, the works. And we're honored to have Mr. Dustin Blakey. Welcome.
Hi,
Now, what's your title again?
my title is Farm Advisor, and I'm, I guess, the advisor also for the Master Gardeners.
Awesome. And he gives great advice. He was here last month. He talked about frost protection and all the gardener's purgatory. We're in the middle of stuff. So now it's April.
Right.
So this is the time for fruits and vegetables, right?
This is an exciting time in the
Quite
garden.
exciting.
This is the good parts. This is when you have all the ambition
Yep.
and you plant everything, and then eventually it turns into August and you wish you didn't plant it.
Yeah.
Right now, this is when optimism kicks in.
Nothing has gone to seed yet. So this is called the warm season. Now, what do we do for the warm season? What do we plant?
Well, just to be clear, so we have a set of vegetables in our climate that's cool season vegetables, and they're things that we tend to grow when the weather isn't very hot. And we would have planted those already for the most part. There's some things maybe like we could sneak some radishes and some quick things like spinach in. But then that hot part of the year, that's when the exciting stuff happens, like tomatoes and peppers. Those are warm season vegetables, and we can get started with those this month.
Okay. So when you get started, you mean it's actually too late to seed up, so you need to buy plants at this time.
Yeah, kind of. You can, if you're not in too much of a hurry, you're probably going to lose some crop. You can probably still start peppers from seed. But if it's April, the weather's nice, you want to get the stuff growing, go buy some transplants and you get going.
Now, you said that we just changed from zone 8 to zone 9. Is that right?
No, it's 7 to 8.
We changed from 7 to 8. Sorry. We've been rezoned. And scientifically, you don't think what do you think of it scientifically?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. So what they do when they come up with these USDA hardiness zones, which are a different thing than like the sunset garden zones, they look at like the average minimum low temperature per month. And sure enough, it's warmer than it used to be. And so I think before we were something called 7B and now we're 8A, which is the cold end of 8. But like it doesn't really change what we can plant. I mean, it's not like somebody puts this new map out and suddenly, we can do like, all things like gardenias and stuff, right? It's just not going to happen. To me, I think if I were going to be selecting plant material for my yard and it was a, hardiness type thing, I think I'd still stick with 7. And the rationale is that, yes, the average minimum temperature is increasing annually, a little bit, and it goes up over time, but we're also seeing a lot more variability in the weather. Right. And so that means more low lows and more high highs, but especially those low ones we're really worried about. And it's not predictable like it could be in the past. So I think I'd still be conservative. Now, if you have a hankering to grow something weird and you've just been holding off because it's zone 8 and you didn't know what to do, well, I think you could like maybe have a specimen and, call it good. But I wouldn't like want to put a tree that you're expecting to live, 100 years. It's a zone 8 only tree. You got more flexibility down to our lone pine and stuff. It's warmer down there, but especially up in Bishop, I think I just call it zone 7 and find something more exciting at zone 7.
So you just mentioned trees, and I was lamenting that my peach tree died, and I guess it's kind of a good thing because peaches are really kind of labor-intensive fruits.
Yeah, and I feel like, they have like a will to die too.
Yes.
Peaches just are a challenge. All the stone fruits, they're kind of a challenge here. There's better things we can grow than peaches.
And what would you actually recommended putting in a vine?
Yeah, I think that probably the best suited crop that's, apples do great here and pears do, but probably the best suitable thing for most, gardeners, because we have limited space, is blackberries. We need to look at blackberries more. They grow great here.
And they're malleable. You can change where the vine goes if you need to redirect it, right?
Yeah, it's a vine, some of them are more straight up growing, so you don't need a whole lot of trellising for that, just maybe a little support. Some of them are actually going to require you to, the trailing types, tie it onto a trellis. So you can fit, more in a small space. They're lower to the ground, so maybe a little bit less sensitive to, frost issues higher up above the ground. They flower a little later. There's all sorts of good stuff about them, and they do fine in the heat. They're just going to need some water.
And they taste great.
Of course they do.
And we were also talking, so my big thing coming from another location was pests. And you said, we're kind of lucky around here.
Yeah, we have pests. Our biggest problem is just that when we have like civilization in the Owens Valley, there's desert around, right? So it's like an oasis of green. So we do have these times that everything kind of comes in and wants to snack. But in terms of like most of the insect stuff, we've got it. But our population numbers are a lot lower. What we tend to see is these spikes and things like aphids early and late in the season, just because the weather's nice and there's not much else for them to eat at time. So they'll come in. Really, our biggest problem is wildlife. Little critters, that's way more than insects.
Yes. And it's amazing how the raccoons, they're downtown. I mean, I would not think that we would have wild animals downtown, but they're there.
Oh, yeah.
And we also have skunks. We have a nice skunk family. They let us know. My neighbor's dog has found out there several times.
No,
That there's a skunk family.
Sorry.
And so one of my questions I asked is about figs. And you said that actually figs can grow here. And many years ago, I just took some fig sticks, stuck them in the ground, and 5 of the 6 turned into amazing trees. What do we look for, and when do we plant figs?
You want to plant figs if you're going to buy a potted fig, wait till all danger of frost is past and it's pretty warm out. Plant it kind of late. Figs here are not trees. So if you came to the Owens Valley from any other warm kind of place like Central Valley or the southern U.S., you probably are thinking of a fig tree. And that's what I thought of figs, growing up in California. And then I moved away to a cold place and, I kind of missed figs. And it was pointed out to me this well, we don't have fig trees, we have fig bushes. And then that's the thing here. So we're going to get winters occasionally that will freeze the top of the fig off, and that's going to hurt the tree. And you just, have to prune all that out and start again. But the roots are hardy. As long as you get them through that first season, you're probably going to be okay. The important thing in Owens Valley is to not plant the mission fig that everyone else in California likes. It doesn't do very well here.
Welcome to the Chasing Laughter podcast. I created this podcast with one major thing in my mind, and that's connecting the people who are driving this community to the public. There's so many wonderful people who go unsung in their roles with the public, with what they do for our community, and you guys just don't know who they are. You don't know what they're doing, and I wanted to create this podcast to have an opportunity for them to come on, tell their role and what they do for our community. Each episode is going to feature guests. We're going to have business owners. We're going to have political candidates. If you're running for something, more than anything, come on and tell us what you're about. And community leaders. And this will give you an insight to who they are and what is driving them behind their passion. So join me as we chase laughter in these conversations, gaining a deeper understanding of the people behind the scenes to make our community even that much better. Thank you.
3, 2, 1, here we go!
And this is one of those good news, bad news things.
I don't think it's bad news. I think it's having to learn about it, which people worry about surveillance. Oh, the government is watching us. The government is controlling us. I worry about my privacy and all of that. And we should not, because we are going to be implementing or installing within the city limits what is called license plate reading cameras. These are going to be cameras like your red light, not the red light, but the signal, the cameras that let you, the computer system when to change from red to green.
Yes.
And let you go. So those cameras that we're going to be installing, the license plate reading, are just that. They're going to be focusing on looking at the vehicle's license plate, not the individual. So it's not like the typical red light camera that takes a picture of your license plate and your face. You when you get one of those in the mail, you get 2 pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a ticket.
Of course. And
Yes.
yes.
But this is not that. This is
No,
actually
no.
a good thing.
This is not for that purpose, and it's not for the purpose of looking at who is driving, but the vehicle. A lot of times, when a crime happens someplace, the first thing they look at is the vehicle people are driving, and with that is the license plate number. So what the law enforcement first look is for the license plate to track the vehicle, to locate the vehicle. So this is gonna allow us to not only help our local law enforcement, but collaborate with other law enforcement agencies. I mean, we are on a major
Thoroughfare, yeah.
truck route and state highway. So we are going to be able to help when there is a vehicle of interest that is coming south, for example, from Southern California, and that they think is heading this way, or if something happened up north and this is the only way south. So we're going to be able to provide that support to law enforcement on locating vehicles of interest through the license plate only.
And the classic examples are silver alerts and amber alerts.
Exactly.
And I've actually had experience with silver alerts, and it's really scary where'd they go?
Exactly.
We know their license plate, and so now you'll be able to find them.
Yes.
And I think normally I don't like surveillance, but this is not surveillance. This is a tool. And it's a great tool.
And to tell you more about it, it's not something like we're going to have one individual looking at the monitor, looking at license plates or vehicles driving by 24/7. No. The cameras are going to be recording, and when there is a vehicle license plate of interest, we can enter the license plate number, and the computer will look for the image, whether they find it or not. And if they do, they locate the vehicle, they locate the recording, and see where the vehicle is heading. That's all.
Yes.
So nobody's going to be watching vehicles driving by 24/7. No.
That's a good thing. And like you said, it's looking for the license plate, but you have to tell it when you have a license plate, okay, find this.
You enter that into the system, and like I said, this is one more tool that we can provide law enforcement officers in solving crime.
Awesome. But we have some great news right here, right now. You said you have two brand new grandchildren?
Well, one brand new, 2-month-old. My older granddaughter, it's 9 years old, but I have a 2-month granddaughter that I just went and see recently. Her name is Antonella, beautiful baby, of course. But yes, I'm very...
She got that from her grandfather. I'm absolutely...
No, from grandma, probably.
Yes.
If I don't say that, I'm in trouble.
Yes. Oh, yes. Mrs. Garcia.
No.
Wow. Just amazing.
No, but yes, thank you for mentioning.
So congratulations on your reelection, and congratulations on Antonella.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much for coming back. Do you have any?
My pleasure. Anytime. I'll be happy to come back. There is always something to share about the city bishop. It seems like the projects take a long time to happen, to be a reality. And there is a lot more that is going on that I'll be happy to share in the future.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I appreciate it very much. Thank
you very much. My pleasure.
This is Jimmy T with Councilman Jose Garcia, and this is Ion Inyomono. We'll be back.
Hello, my name is Paul Geffre, and I'm president of Mammoth Lakes Youth Hockey. I've got some very exciting news to share today, and that is that our 12U Pee Wee team is headed to San Jose this weekend to play for the California State Hockey Championship. Super exciting news. We're bringing 16 of the region's best 11 and 12-year-old athletes over to San Jose to compete against Tahoe, Vacaville, and the Junior Firebirds from the Coachella Valley. And we could use your help. Doing these travel tournaments is very expensive, and it costs our team about $3,000 to go. So if you can, please help us out. Donate today at mlyh.org. That's mammothlakesyouthhockey.org. And anything you can give is appreciated. We're a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, so every penny helps. And again, my name is Paul Geffre. I'm the president of Mammoth Lakes Youth Hockey, and I really appreciate your support, as do all the kids. Thank you.
Hello, this is Jimmy T with Ion Inyomono Sports. Today we're honored to have President Paul Geffre of Mammoth
Lakes Youth Hockey.
Mammoth Lakes Youth Hockey. And the reason I was kind of a little confused about that because people all over the area go up there to play, right?
Yes.
So welcome. Tell us, why are you here today?
Thank you. Well, I am here today because one of our teams is playing for the state championship this weekend. But beyond that is just to raise awareness and say hello and introduce ourselves to the community at large. Even though we are Mammoth Lakes Youth Hockey, it really is an Eastern Sierra organization. And just tell you a little bit about it.
Huge. Now, what is your experience? How did you come to be here?
Well, after 18 years in the NHL, no. No.
He's got all his teeth. He can't be a professional.
That's right. No, after a couple of years of beer league hockey, no, also that's pretty much it. No, my family and I moved up to Mammoth in 2017. My son at the time was 5 years old and had just started playing in Southern California. And so when we got here, we signed him up for the Mammoth program, which at that point ran from basically the first week or so of December until the end of February, because we were on our outdoor rink, battling snow and wind and sun and all of the things that you battle on an outdoor rink. And yeah, brought him out for practice and hung out and met Patrick Bernard, who was the president of the organization at that time. And he basically looked at me and went, "You're a coach now."
I need a voluntold.
And I am here, what is that, 8 years later?
8 years later.
Yep.
Good for you. Awesome. Now, what position did you play in when you played hockey?
I never played hockey growing up. I
never.
I played on the lake in front of my house, but I was never able to play organized hockey because my family couldn't afford it. And my parents weren't hockey players. And so I didn't play growing up, even though I grew up in Minnesota. So I just grew up playing on the lake and always loved it. And when I was in my mid-30s, my neighbor across the street had a beer league team and said, "Come play with us." And so I did and kind of got hooked then. And I've kind of played ever since.
So tell us, the team is going to the championships. Is it a championship?
It is. Yeah.
And there's always money involved. Are you looking to raise funds?
This is our first season playing in Well, let me back up for a second. Over the last several years, we've sort of built the program up, and this is the first year that we played really true travel hockey. And so we had a team that competed in the Southern California Amateur Hockey Association, which is called SCAHA. We actually had 3 teams participate. We had a 10U team, we had a 12U team, and we had a 14U team. All 3 of which did phenomenally well. Our Bantam 14U team made it to the playoffs, and due to some unfortunate luck, they got bounced in the first round. Our Pee Wee team is still playing. They won the SCAHA championship last weekend, and are off to San Jose to play in the state tournament this weekend. What you don't know when you play in a league for the first time is all of the intricacies and what happens later in the season. And it turns out that your thanks for making the playoffs is you get a bill for $2,500 to play in the playoffs. And so that was an unexpected expense that we didn't realize we were going to get. And then when we made the state playoffs, that was a bill for $2,800. So it was one of those things where we really didn't know that it was going to happen. And so obviously we've had some phenomenal people step up and contribute and help us with those costs, and including the Mono County Deputy Sheriff's Association, the Mammoth Lakes Police Department Association, the district attorney, several other people have come forward and donated. But obviously the more we can rely on our community and the more we can build those kinds of bonds, the easier it is on our families, because we do have to travel, right? So we've got 16 kids that are all making the trek to San Jose on Thursday. We've just come off 4 straight weeks of driving to Southern California to play in those games. So obviously any financial support is incredibly appreciated.
How would somebody contribute if they wanted to contribute?
The easiest way to do it is to reach out to me, or you can reach out to our board, which is board@mlyh.org. We try to keep that as simple as we can. We have a website, which is also mlyh.org, where you can get information on contacts and those types of things. And the other way you can do it is just find a family friend who has a kid who plays hockey, because you probably know one and you don't even know it.
I think my next door neighbor plays Hunter Daly.
Oh, yep. Oh,
Great.
great kid. I love him.
Great kid.
Yep.
And he bench presses like cars. Just an outstanding.
He started with our program, and now he plays with the Bishop High School team, which is incredible. Bishop High School team has actually been playing longer, organized than we have, and they were kind of the first team from up here to set the bar. They won the JV LA Kings High School League a couple of years back, so we're sort of following in their footsteps and trying to uphold that.
Are you going to stay in hotels, or do you get to find a gymnasium to sleep on the floor? Gymnasiums all my life.
Gymnasium. No gymnasium. We're all staying in various hotels around San Jose, which again adds up. We'd love to all stay together, but everybody has different hotel points, and so when you're booking that many rooms, it's like you got to do whatever you can to keep the costs as low as you can. So
Absolutely. Cool. And so the game is this Thursday?
we actually play at least 4 games. So our first game is Saturday morning at 10:45 in San Jose. We play again at 7:15 that night against the Tahoe Grizzlies, which also has a very good team this year.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a banner year for the small town, small programs. We did some math when we were trying to move to Southern California's league, and if the LA Kings team had as many kids playing as we do, they'd have over 15,000 kids playing in their program. So per capita, we've got a lot of kids playing, and it's been really fun to see. So we play 2 games on Friday. We play a game Saturday morning. If we win those, we go straight to the final on Sunday. If we lose, we have a semifinal game on Saturday. But either way, the final game, which I know we're going to play in, is Sunday morning at 10:15. And hoping to bring another banner back for our new indoor rink.
Will you be streaming it live?
There is live streaming available on livebarn.com.
Livebarn.com. I'll try to put that link on.
Yeah, there you go.
There's just so many live streaming platforms now. I'm on boogereatonmoron.org. Oh, okay.
That one's a good one too.
Cool. And again, MLY.
YH.org, MammothLakesYouthHockey.org, or you can put in MammothLakesYouthHockey.com. That's our website, so you can go there for more information. And more than anything, if you've got a kid who's playing in the roller program or who wants to get out on the ice and skate, we've got an amazing program that we've developed with over 160 kids in it this season. So,
Wow. You said there's 14 children
14, what?
going to the I think 60.
Yep.
And it's $2,800.
It's $2,800 for our team. Yeah.
So it's about $200 each.
Yes, exactly.
That's doable.
Yeah. So
Go on. Sorry. I'm trying to think something nice to say about our rivals up the street, but hey, Mammoth, anything for the youth, the children, to get them out there to do stuff and team sports is where it's at.
That's right. And we're not rivals. And one of my big goals is to break this thing down over time, because not half of our team, but 30% of our team all travels from Big Pine or Bishop or June Lake, or comes from some other place that's not Mammoth. So it really is an Eastern Sierra team made up of all the great athletes that we have around in our towns. So
Yeah, I salute the parents where are you going? Hockey practice. Okay. Where were you all day? Hockey practice. Where are you? Cool. President Paul Geffre,
that's right.
thanks for coming.
Thank you, Jimmy.
This is Jimmy T with Ion Inyomono Sports, Mammoth Lakes Youth. They need your help, but it's for a championship. Come on.
It's hockey, not football, but that's okay.
Oh.
You get the idea.
There's only foot. Be tremendous. This is Jimmy T with the amazing Paul Geffre.
This is Minecraft.
Any questions?
Yeah, quite a few actually.
Fair enough. In this world, creativity is key to survival. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
What am I doing here?
A Minecraft movie. Rated PG, April 4th.
Heads up!
Novocaine is the biggest surprise of the year.
It's so good.
It's a high-octane blast.
Don't play with me. I'm not trying to play with you, sir.
And the most fun you'll have at the movies.
Holy.
Novocaine.